Hey, y'all better stop playing with the enemy. You better stop playing with fire. Y'all have heard the saying, you keep playing with that fire, you're going to get burned. Stop playing with fire. I was watching a video of a man. He had some cameras outside of his home, and his cameras captured some bears that were able to fit inside of his small crawl space. This was on the news. And I was looking at that crawl space and I said, my gosh, me with my almost 200-pound self I can't even see myself fitting in that crawl space that those bears that were 300 to maybe 600 pounds, I think the newscast said, I think they said they were about 600 pounds in the crawl space, fitting in that little small crawl space. That's how the enemy is. The enemy has come to steal, kill, and destroy. The enemy is slick. Oh, they think they slick. He think he's slick. What he does is he disguises himself. He disguises himself and come as, say for an example, you stop doing something, or you are addicted to something and you stop doing it, but you still hanging out with them same friends. You don't see nothing wrong with it. You like, you know what? I don't do that no more. I gave my life to the Lord. I cast that to God, and he took that from me. And then here comes the enemy, dressed up. The enemy comes and says, hey, let's go out. Hey, let's do this. Or, hey, let's do that. And you know good and well, those are your friends. You had a great relationship with them, but they still doing that same thing that you used to do. That's a trigger for you. But you still go out and hang out with them. And then you find yourself dibbling and dabbling and stuff that you know you gave up. You know that you shouldn't be doing, but you find yourself out there and you be like, man, I done went back. Because you're still hanging around with that crowd. Because the enemy already knows where he can creep in at. What you need to do as followers of Christ, we need to recognize when we see the enemy and stop acting like you don't see the enemy. You said that you stopped lying, but there you go. You say, it's tax time. I need a little extra money. Here you go, lying on your taxes. No. That's how the enemy creeps in. You see it as it's something small. Nobody won't know. Nobody sees. Oh, they won't catch that. God sees it. Or you telling your child a lie, to tell a lie about something. No. You got to recognize the enemy. When you see the enemy, and stop acting like you don't see him. You're embracing something that don't belong to you. You're embracing something that God didn't give you. You're possessing something that does not belong to you. We have to recognize when we see the enemy, just like I didn't think that bear that I watched and I replayed that video several times, and it didn't look like that bear could fit in that crawl space, but he did. That's just like the enemy. It don't look like he's coming to do anything bad. It seems like it's a small thing. It seems like, you're just telling the white lie. But no, it's the wrong thing. You got to recognize the enemy. When you see the enemy, you can't play with the enemy. God has given that enemy power. But guess what? God has given us as followers of Christ all power. So we have all power where the enemy is supposed to be. We're supposed to trample over him. He's supposed to be under our feet. We have dominion. We have all power to tell the enemy where to go. We have all power where we can use the word to get through. We can use the word on the enemy. So yeah, recognize when you see the enemy. Recognize, and don't play with the enemy, because the enemy is no one to play with. But guess what? Us followers of Christ, we are no one to play with either. Don't play with us, because we already got the victory. Don't play with us, because we're already more than conquerors. Don't play with us, because we know who our daddy is. We know that we have already won the battle. We know that our Father has already gone before us. We know who we serve. At the same time, you got to recognize when you see the enemy and put the enemy in its place. That's what I got for today's Seed Goddess. Until we meet again, I love y'all. Y'all have an amazing night.